Last time, we dove deep into the 4 pillars that underpin our community, with a special focus on consent, our most intricate topic. Today, we are shifting gears to a more hands-on approach to really wrap our heads around consent. If you haven't seen the first part yet, I highly recommend you to check it out first. You can find the link of the first episode below in the description, or if I manage, it's gonna be up there as a link. Hi, I'm Pierre, and again, you're watching Kink-Y Talks. Given the fact that every interaction is unique and things can change in a heartbeat, you might wonder, how can I make sure that my actions are always consensual? Well, let's talk about it. Here is a practical guide to help you minimize the risk of your actions being perceived as a non-consensual. And remember, this isn't a complete checklist, but it's a strong starting point to keep your interaction on the right track. First thing first, cultivate sensitivity. Understand that every person is unique and they might react differently in different moments or in a different context or based on the people they are surrounded by. Engaging sexually should be about collaboration and not, this is definitely not your own journey. So your main focus should be tuning into your partner responses and adapt. Redefine your goals. Very important. Thinking of sex as the main goal can unintentionally lead to pressure in behavior. Instead, focus on creating meaningful interactions, enjoy the moment, and ensuring everybody around you is happy and smiling and is having a good time. It's about the quality of the connection, not just the physical act. Personal space and touch. I think it's very underestimated the importance of the physical contact and the personal space. Those are really crucial in every interaction. Do you know that just getting inside someone's personal space can increase the stress also in a hormonal way of a person? Always make sure that this is okay, make sure to get consent and make sure that you get a positive response when you get closer to a person or you touch a person. And in case you perceive that this is not what the other person wants, step back and stop immediately. Recognize signs of discomfort. It's vital to pick up these nonverbal cues and body languages, as not everybody feels comfortable in saying no explicitly. Some people get nonverbal in certain situations, and it's up to us to recognize and respect these signs as quick as possible. And this is definitely a key part of maintaining consent. In short, everything that is different than a very enthusiastic yes has to be treated as a no. More about awareness, read the room. Pay attention to the overall mood and how people are interacting, especially during intimate or playful moments. Keep a respectful distance. Don't impose yourself into activities you were not explicitly invited to. And avoid making others feel uncomfortable. Ensuring that everyone feels safe and respected enhances the experience for all. Avoid assumptions and approach each interaction with care, as it was the first time for the person you're interacting with. For instance, don't rely on the impression of the expertise of your partner. Keep in mind that careful and sensitive handling encourages trust. Allow the positive signals to guide the pace, but never assume. Always confirm consent before progressing and moving forward to the next step. Always assess mental and awareness state. Be conscious when you interact with people who've been drinking or using substances, as being under this influence would drastically limit their ability of give a clear consent. So always make sure that all the parties involved are clear-headed and aware and able to make conscious decisions they are not going to regret the day after. Honor withdrawn consent. Consent can be withdrawn at any time, and it's vital to respect that. If consent is retracted, stop all activity immediately, address any issue, and apologize if necessary. Express gratitude for boundaries. Don't limit yourself in respecting your partner's will, but take it to a step further. Thank the person for clearly expressing their boundaries. This behavior is crucial to enhance safety and enjoyment for everyone. Always valid, but even more in case of BDSM playing, negotiate play boundaries. Before engaging, clearly discuss and agree on what's acceptable and what's not. If you want to try something new during the session, you must get consent first. Always lean on the side of the caution when you are in doubt, adhering to the safest practice unless explicitly agreed otherwise. Continuous check-in. Regularly check in with your partner during interaction, especially in prolonged or intense sessions. This ensures that everyone remains comfortable and that the play remains consensual, as things can change during the game. Last but not least, the usage of a safe word that can actually stop any activities. This could be also a safe gesture in the case the person is not able to speak for whatever reason. I know this can sound like a bad movie about BDSM, but there are certain situations and certain contexts in which this can still be really useful, so just don't underestimate it. But there is not only the side of the coin. In fact, on the other side, how can you respond when you feel pressured or disrespected? It's essential to know how to safeguard your boundaries and ensure your sense of respect is maintained in any situation. The first thing you can definitely do is build confidence and communication skills. If something feels off, address it immediately and clearly. Start gently, but don't hesitate to assert yourself if necessary. This approach can significantly impact how others perceive and respond to your boundaries. Certain times it feels really strange to do that. It feels difficult. It feels like you don't want to be the one responsible for the change of the atmosphere, but I've been there. But believe me, respecting yourself is too important to be avoided. Don't let negative experiences dampen your spirit. If you party often, it's a matter of time. There will be a day when you would need to use the skills. Once it becomes part of you and a natural thing, you'll enjoy parties more and more, and the times you'll get back home with a bitter taste in your mouth will get rarer and rarer. Remember, you're not alone. In this kind of context, you are usually surrounded by sensitive people. If you are struggling to express yourself or resolve a situation, reach out to a friend or even better to a host, as they are there exactly for that reason. Don't do it a few days after. The best way to address a situation is to solve it immediately on the spot. If you are in a public space, most of the parties of the sex positive events also have an awareness team, so that just contact them and they're gonna help you a lot. Last but not least, be aware, don't be scared. In my experience, people who are actually dangerous are extremely rare, even given to the context you're surrounded by other people, right? People might lack of sensitivities, people might set the wrong goals, and people might think that being just a little bit pushy and a little bit extra touchy is the only way that works in this kind of contest. This can happen, but most of the times they are not harasser or worse rapers. So in the moment that you speak clearly and you clearly and with confidence about what's not working for you, you will be surprised on how quickly they will apologize and just disappear from your side. Consent is not just an individual responsibility. It's a collective commitment to creating a safer, respectful, and inclusive environment. Every member plays a crucial role in upholding these values, from the way we communicate with one another to how we observe and respond to the situation around us. Being aware of this really increases the level and the safety for everybody around you and increases the comfort. So being aware of what's happening around you, it's crucial. So that was it from my side. This is what I've learned in my journey, and I'm happy I've shared with you, and I hope this is gonna help you in your journey. Navigating consent can be quite complex at the beginning, but becomes more and more intuitive with experience. In general, interpersonal relationship and intimacy require understanding, respect, and definitely personal growth. So a sex-positive party is more than just fun. It's an opportunity for deep and transformative experiences. If you like this content and you think that you find it useful, please put a like on this videos and maybe click on the bell to follow the next content. This would help us growing, and I would be really grateful if you do that. Thank you for watching.
Redefine, Redefine, c'est la